Well, this is my first foray into acrylic pouring. I got this set of Arteza paints. They're small, it's 2 ounce, so it's about the same as your normal craft paint size. These are pre-mixed pouring colors. And I've always wanted to try pouring, but everything was always seemed to be toxic. So they came out with something non-toxic, and I thought I'd give it a try. This may be a pretty short video because it's my first time into it. I'm putting gloves on. They're non-toxic, but I'm going to be lifting the canvas up and probably get paint all over myself. So, it pays to be prepared. This very small canvas, this is one of my 4x4 minis. I thought, why not try it with that one? So let's see. Let's see if we can figure this out. I think for this first time, I'm just going to pour some colors in. I got all these open. This one I must not have gotten that top thing off. It took me forever. I thought I was going to get to this hours ago. And one of the hardest things about it, I'll show you with these Arteza paints, is getting this thing off. It's which is good. It should be stuck on there really good, but it just took me forever to get that thing off there. Okay, I'm just going to pour little bits of these colors in here. I kind of have different greens mostly, and one coral, and of course some black and white. I gather you use a lot of paint when you do something like this. I'm just going to put these in super random. Oh yeah, I see why you use so much paint. I mean, I've been putting it in here and it looks like nothing in this cup. I didn't want to put in too much because, you know, I don't know what I'm doing for this one. And it's a small canvas, but it looks like I might have to think bigger on this thing. Do a little bit. I'm going to put just a touch of metallic gold in there. What do I think about that? I'm looking at the canvas versus the amount of paint. I'm thinking it needs more paint than that. For this first one, if I, you know, I mean, it seems like it's somewhat of a wasteful process anyway, to be honest with you guys. Okay, and then I'm just going to go, so I've got all the paints in the cup, and I'm just going to kind of swirl them around a little bit in the cup. Oh, look pretty in the cup at least. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, and I gather we should let it set for a minute. Well, not for a full minute. We'll let it set for a couple seconds. So anyway, yeah, so they have these paints and they were on year-end clearance. They were like a third off. I was so excited. And I went to the page and I thought about it for just a minute and went back and they were sold out. So I actually bought, and I never did this, but I paid full price for these. Amazon still had them, even though Arteza was sold out. So I paid full price for them, and we'll just hope. Now I could pour this on there, but then I gather sometimes what you do is you use the cup itself. Oh, I put these little cups down there. It's sitting on a little thing of cups. Kind of raise it up a little bit for me. All right, let's see what happens there. Okay, that is probably not nearly enough paint. That's okay though. Let's just play around with this one, and we will worry about. You know, this is really pretty. It looks like malachite, doesn't it? Well, that's quite lovely. It may be not enough paint for the canvas, but it sure is pretty. I think I could spread it around a bit. I could probably do is pull some of this out of this cup too. Yeah, if you spread it around, it doesn't do much, does it? I'm just going to leave that like that then. I don't want to ruin that beautiful marbling. I'll tell you what I can do is put some more in there and then go around there. Now that looks so thick. And see, it kind of homogenizes if you use a knife. It's pretty though. You know what I might do is for this one is go ahead and do that knife and worry about the marbling on future installments. Let's see if this covers it if I do this. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Originally, what I thought I'd use this for is backgrounds and actually paint on it, but have it be like an interesting background that I'm using. I've tried to come up with interesting backgrounds. You know, even though it homogenizes it a bit, it's still super pretty. Running out a bit down here though. If I can get a little bit more out of this cup. Let's see. All right, so my first foray, I'd say the lesson was I need a heck of a lot more paint than what I put in that little cup. Let's just kind of cake frost this thing down here so it's got paint on it. We'll do that. And drop it a few times, super helpful. It's pretty though. You know, I'm gonna trying to, sometimes I run over it and it's getting me where it's not enough paint, not thick enough paint in there. See if I can get a little thicker paint on there. Gosh, it's so pretty. I can see how pretty this is going to be if I, you know, put enough paint in a cup. But, you know, a dark green background's always, well, it's not really dark green, but a green background is always going to be useful. Oh, you know what I could use this for after it dries is like a pretty garden scene or something. So don't worry, it won't go to waste. Just because it's not what I intended doesn't mean it's useless. First rule of art, if you can't fix it, feature it. I don't think I'll worry. If I'm going to use it as background, I'm not going to worry too much about it at the moment. We're just going to let that go. You know, though, it's really very pretty. I want to see on the bottom of this cup. I got these things out. I bought these little things, wood blanks. Originally, I was going to transfer paintings onto it, and it didn't really work out as well as I'd hoped. Actually, it worked out fine, but they didn't sell all that well, and they were really hard to do, so I gave up on it. But I thought I'd use them for this. Ooh, now see, now that worked out really pretty. Look at that. Just set that to one side there. See if we got enough paint in the bottom of this cup to do this again. See if I can get that paint covering that bottom completely there. Yes, I can. So drop that in there like I did the other one. Press it a little bit and pull it out of there. Ooh, look how pretty. I guess I should. Look how pretty that looks. Let's just set that to one side there, huh? Now that one, did I cover all that? And then see, that can be a nice little set of earrings for somebody. Well, at least we got that out of that, huh? And a pretty background. Could be worse. Okay, well, how much paint is up there? You know, this is something that you probably come to terms with as you do this, and this idea that you're wasting paint. But, you know, it's so ingrained in most artists. We're so cheap. Like, oh my God, there's a little bit of paint left in there. Let's see if I can get that out. Get this on here in places. If I can use that instead of that knife and then cover it a little bit more. I don't know how long this takes to dry. One of the videos I watched said she'd be, what'd she say? Oh, you know what I could do with this is use this as like a background layer and just pile more on there. Oh, should we do it? What do you think? Pretty racy stuff here. Let's do that. I'm going to use this bottom thing then as sort of a base coat. Just sort of slam some things on here. And then we'll try and goop them around there. forgot you could do that, that you can use these as sort of a base layer. Usually they do it with more white or black. That's not moving much at all, is it? I'd have to swirl that around with a knife. Oh, we'll do it. We will do that. It seemed to flow the way I would have thought. Sure, I like this knife as an implement. Boy, the knife itself looks really pretty though. Well, you know, for the first time you do anything, you kind of expect you're going to make a mess. One thing that surprises me is I thought as I tilted this, that it would pretty much just flow right on over there, but it's like, what would be the word, like lava. It's really slow. It doesn't just race along there like you'd think. Wow, yeah, that's super slow. Okay, so that's not quite what I thought was going to happen with it. Pretty colors though. To see on its new reality, I feel it could do something with that as a, you know, it's still very pretty. It still reminds me a lot of malachite. What I'd like to do is get, there's kind of a bald area. Not, it's not bald, but you can sort of see the texture of the canvas. So, boy, what's slower than watching paint dry? Watching it flow. For this, I should probably turn my camera the other way. You know, it's pretty. It's just super slow. It is, you know, it is giving it a nicer effect doing this. Everything's sort of blending in together. There's one little splodge there. It's kind of annoying. It was a little dried paint or something around the edge or something. Probably from when I took the label off there. So my goal is, in doing all this, is to get that one edge, that bald part of the canvas kind of covered. Well, it does go. I mean, you know, I guess you can have your meditation practice here. Like I said, I kind of thought from watching the other videos that the stuff just raced across that canvas. You know, you can tell that it just whoosh. But this is more, Boy, these earring blanks though are super pretty. And people are always seem to be wanting more earrings. Okay, now stick them to the thing now. There we go. Move that off there. Make sure we're not running. We could run over it and make any difference. It's quite pretty though. See what's happening as it's moving down there? Of course, I forgot. I'm used to streaming on Twitch rather than doing these static videos, where I guess it's more entertaining for me to just sit here because I chat with people. But for you guys that are just going to be watching a video, this is maybe not as exciting as it might be. Seems to be forming more drops instead of really moving down. I don't want to mess up those cells, but not cells, the pretty patterns it's making. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe if I just move that paint just a little bit. But there's areas where you can see the texture of the canvas, and that's really what I'm trying to get away from there. Is get those parts filled in enough. You know, it's actually quite pretty, I have to say. I could use a little bit more coverage there. That is not bad. I got a little bit of a bald spot there. You know, when I first did this, I didn't think it would be anything, but actually it's quite pretty, isn't it? I'm not sure what we'll do with that when it dries, but let's leave it there. And when that dries, I'm going to see if I want to do something over it, see what it suggests. But okay, well that, you know, that was fun actually. Anyway, let's go ahead and stop this here. We've got our earrings done. These are too wet for me to lift up, but when they're dry, I'll come back and post them on my Instagram or something. Anyway, I'm so saying thanks for tuning in because I'm live streaming. But anyway, if you're watching this in static form, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.